Good morning, Ugly Mug marketing friends and followers. Welcome to another edition of Ugly Mug Marketing Coffee Chats, the live show where we drink our coffee and have a great conversation about marketing, leadership, and everything in between. My name is Hannah Balia, and I am the Director of Communication and Teaching here at Ugly Mug. And today I am joined by our website department manager, Mallori. Mallori has been at Ugly Mug for 3 years now, just celebrated her 3-year anniversary. And I'm really excited for Mallori to share with us all about Google reviews and how that can help you generate new or attract new customers to your business, which ultimately helps you generate revenue. And Mallori has such a great personal story that I'm really excited for her to share with y'all. For those of you who are not on our email list, it's a real treat. And we're going to just dive into all the things today. So, Mallori, welcome to Coffee Chats.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here.
Wonderful. So before we dive into all things Google review related and how we should be asking for reviews, why they're important, all of that great stuff, tell us a little bit about how you got into marketing and maybe tell us one thing that you're looking forward to this year as it relates to the website department, Ugly Mug, or in your personal life.
Yeah, so I would say that I got into marketing right after high school. I started working for a local boutique and of course I did the normal like store associate stuff, but I also got to help some behind the scenes. So like taking pictures of products and styling stuff, posting on Instagram and Facebook. I even like helped update the content on the website, built some emails in constant contact, stuff like that. So I feel like that kind of taught me a little bit. And then, so I was very interested in the job at Ugly Mug. So that's kind of how I got interested in marketing for sure. And then one thing I'm looking forward to, I know there's stuff I'm looking forward to at work, but right now I'm really looking forward to the beach because we're going in 10 days. So that's what I just can't stop thinking about right now. I just can't wait.
I love that for y'all. I'm like,
yes.
I'm trying to convince
and we're going for
a
whole week. So it's going to be a 7-day trip. Like we get to like actually just hang out.
I know sometimes when you go to the beach and it's just like a long weekend, I mean, like, how far is the drive to the beach? Like 5 hours or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
we're
like
going to
if you
Gulf
go for a
Shores this
long
time, so
weekend,
it's
it's kind of
6.
like you don't get to like super relax and like enjoy it.
Yeah, I always say from here, I feel like you have to stay at least 4 nights for it to be worth it. Like we'll go like a long weekend sometimes, but it's just you don't get to actually like settle in.
Yeah, I know. I've been telling Wes there's like a week of Charlie, my daughter. For those of you who are watching, my daughter's name is Charlie. There's like a week in the end of July, I think, that her daycare is closed. And I'm like, ooh, we should go to the beach. Like, come on, let's go to
How far are
Riceville.
y'all from the beach? I
We're
should know that,
only
but I don't.
No, we're only from Raleigh to Riceville Beach. It's like just under 2 hours. I
Oh
think.
yeah, that's awesome.
Like an hour and 45, maybe even an hour and a half. Y'all, it's like it's so close. So I feel like we really need to take advantage of that week off and like have some good family time. And just relax. So yeah,
for sure.
Love that you guys are going for a week.
Me too. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into the real reason that everyone's here today, which is just to learn more about the importance of Google reviews and what we can do to generate more Google reviews for our company. Now, I feel like I mean, maybe not everyone has left a Google review, but I have certainly left a Google review for a variety of reasons. And so when I was looking at your email that went out this week, I was like, this is so relatable. But at the same time, I'm like, maybe not everyone has left a Google review that has gotten over 60,000 views. So let's start the conversation there. Tell us about how you left this Google review, why you left it. And I still am just like, it has 60,000 views on it. That's crazy.
I know. I'm amazed by that too. So in 2022, we took a trip to Broken Bow, Oklahoma for Labor Day, which I highly recommend going there. It's such a cute little touristy spot. Anyways, so we go to Broken Bow, and before the trip, we planned on going ziplining. I couldn't even tell you how we found the ziplining place, but I'm sure it was through a quick Google search, and they had so many good reviews that we were like, let's just go there. So we get there, and every group was assigned 2 guides, and they were like younger, probably like right out of high school, early college age kids. And they kind of took you to the first course and just followed you along the way throughout the entire experience, and just kind of made everything like more fun and engaging, told fun facts about the area, the normal tourist guide type stuff. So after the trip, we all had so much fun, but we had to take like a quick bus ride back from the final line to like the main building. So we're on the bus, and I can't remember his name, but the guy, he was like, all right, y'all, if you had fun today, I have a quick thing that I need from you. If y'all could all just pull out your phones and leave a quick Google review, it would help me and her, again, I can't remember their names, so much, because we're in a competition with the other guides, and whoever gets the most reviews this month gets to pick the snacks in the snack room. And he like really like was telling the good story. Like he was like, the snacks in there right now are terrible. Like they don't have anything good, and we want to pick the snacks next month. Like we have to win. And so I think they might have had a QR code or something. It was super easy. I remember like just being able to quick get to their Google review area. And I think there was 10 people in our group. Every single person pulled out their phone right there and left a review. Like in a matter of 5 minutes, they got 10 Google reviews. And so as far as like me finding out that it had so many views, after I left the review, like every so often I'd get these emails from Google, and it's like, your review has 10,000 views. And then like a month later, it'd be like, you have 25,000 views. And so now it's up to like, I wrote it down, I think. No, I didn't. I think it was like 68,000 views or something crazy like that.
Yeah. Crazy.
A year and a half.
So wild amount of views, but also I feel like for people that are tuning in and are small business owners or are on the marketing team or just work for a company in general where you want to get more Google reviews, they're probably like, holy cow, 10 Google reviews in a matter of like a 5-minute bus ride from point A to point B. I wish. Like we are struggling to get Google reviews. And I feel like asking for a review, I feel like it goes one of 2 ways. Number one, you feel like cringy asking for a review, like, hey. And so in that like feeling kind of cringy asking for it, you get kind of passive about it. Like, hey, if you wouldn't mind, like, I would really appreciate, you kind of have this like passive ask. And so what do you feel like was unique about their approach in asking for the review? I mean, I think it's pretty clear they weren't feeling, it didn't seem cringy, right? As the person on the receiving end.
No, absolutely not. And like looking back, like obviously like they are trained to ask for reviews that way. I'm sure like they do get a benefit of asking for the review, which is getting to pick out the snacks, but they created buy-in, and they asked immediately after the experience. If I would have received an email even a week later, once I was home back at work about leaving a review, I would not have taken the time to do that, even though I had a great time. But we were all still very much on that high and had our adrenaline going of doing the zip lines, and the guides were part of why we had so much fun. So them asking us for a quick favor, none of us minded at all. So I think asking for the review very quickly and creating like some kind of buy-in was like 2 of the keys in getting those reviews so quickly.
Yeah, I love that, because my next question was going to be like, what should we be doing as business owners or as employees, or or I guess the question more so is like, because you mentioned this, they're probably trained to ask for reviews in that way. So as business owners, maybe we don't have a team, like how should we be asking for reviews? Or for those who do have a team of people working under them who are maybe directly serving the customers, like how should we be going about asking for those reviews? You kind of just touched on those 2 points there. If you just want to like reiterate on those.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say like be very specific where you want people to leave a review or how you want them to leave
Mm,
a review. Because I even remember they said, make sure you include our names. And they even said like it can be something short and sweet, like we had a great time today. Like it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Like they let us know that. So they gave us very specific instructions.
yeah,
And then also, they offered convenience. Like I said, I think they might have had us scan like a QR code. It was super quick for us to
yeah,
just pull up Google reviews. We didn't have to like go digging on Google to look for where to find the review. And then again,
yeah,
they did buy-in by we wanted our guides to win the competition. That might not be
mhm,
applicable for every business, but there's definitely things you can incentivize with, whether it's a discount on your next purchase, or if you're a doctor's office, like they get to grab a treat if they leave a review. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, but definitely
yeah,
some kind of incentive or buy-in is the way to go. And
yeah,
just having that plan internally, and training your team on how y'all are going to ask for reviews. And I would also say you could test out different things. So if you're new to asking for reviews, test something out for a few months. If it's not generating reviews, then try something else.
yeah. I love that. So the time that we ask for the review is really important. So asking them immediately for the review once the service is done or once the experience is completed, making sure that we're asking for something specific. We're asking for a specific type of review. And also, I would say the third point that you just made too, as we're recapping here, is making it easy. Like the less friction for them to be able to leave the review on their end, the better. So the fact that they had the QR code and we're maybe passing that around on the
Yeah.
bus or on the ride back to the starting point from the zip line, like I feel like that is super key too. Y'all knew exactly where you needed to go. And at this point, everybody knows how to use, most people know how to use a QR code. And so it was like, oh yeah, let me just like take my phone out and do this. I think and then what was the other point that you just said? Oh, incentivizing, creating that
Yes.
buy-in. So, hey, you're helping us out so that we can pick out the snacks, and so that we can win. I also think jumping back to the specific part, telling telling them or y'all as the people who purchased or experiencing, the zip lining tour. I think part of it too is saying like include our names too, like giving
Because then
such
it's you're leaving
clear
us a
direction.
review, not the company a review. And I think
Yes,
that even makes a difference because you feel like you're helping an individual rather than the whole company. Because like, why should I
yes,
care about this random ziplining company in Broken Bow? That I'm probably if I go back to it, it's going to be a few years from now. But I want to help them as individuals. So I
yes,
definitely think
because
like
your
adding that
relationship has
personal.
been, yeah, like you're saying, your relationship has been with them as, the fun college student guides, right? It hasn't necessarily been with, like, you're not thinking of the company.
Yeah.
That's a really good point too. Because that's all a part of someone's experience and why you were so compelled to leave the review in the first place. Like, I will
Hmm.
say this will probably like even if you include these key components in asking for reviews as a part of your strategy, if someone is not having a good experience to begin with, this probably won't work. So we still have to make sure that our service is amazing and that we're providing a really fun and great experience and environment in order for all of this to come to fruition, right? Like you said,
Yeah,
y'all had so much
definitely.
fun. The tour guides were super fun. They were nice, like they were kind, they were helpful. And so it's like all of that really has to be in place first and foremost before like all of this like can really come into play and those reviews will really be funneling in. But gosh, I just think this story too is so applicable to um, so many other businesses. But can you speak to more about like why is it so important for business owners to have reviews? Whether it's on Google or Facebook, I know we've really been hitting hard on Google because we work with a lot of, you work with a lot of companies on building and developing websites and getting those linked up to their, Google business profiles and all of that fun stuff. So speak to us more about why Google reviews are important for businesses and how they can impact us, good or bad.
Yeah, definitely. And just a quick note before I get into that, I looked and they have about 1,400, a little more than 1,400 reviews total, and they're pretty evenly split between like Facebook and Google. I think they have more on Google, but they still have hundreds on Facebook. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they go about that. Maybe like different weeks they target both platforms because I'm sure
Mm.
both Google and Facebook people are going and looking up information
In both
about
of
their
those.
company that way. So
Yes.
I think they're definitely important. As far as reviews in general go, we buy from other people. So reviews are social proof, whether it's for a product or service. When you're on Amazon, I've said this before, but where's the first place you go? It's to the reviews. Or on TikTok, you see somebody review a pair of tennis shoes, and then you just have to have those tennis shoes because they have such great things to say about them. Whether you know them or not, it really doesn't matter. We trust other people more than we trust like a company. So definitely like that social proof and trust and credibility. Another
Yeah.
thing on the Google side is that Google favors business profiles that have more reviews and specifically good reviews. So
Mm.
your search could um, potentially be impacted by your reviews or lack thereof. So it could have a positive impact or a negative impact on where you place in Google search based on your reviews. So I'd say those
Yeah.
are definitely like the two biggest things. Another piece would be like just customer feedback in general. It's always good to receive feedback. And maybe
Yeah.
sometimes people don't know where else to go other than reviews. So whether it's good or bad feedback, of course you want good feedback.
Mm.
But also the bad feedback can show you ways that you can improve and prevent another bad review from happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
I
answered
think a
your
lot
question.
of business
Hopefully I did.
owners, yeah, yeah. And I think
Yeah.
I think a lot of business owners feel like it's so easy to get a bad review, right? Like people are so quick if they have a bad experience, they're like, well, let me just go on here and completely like trash this company. And don't get me wrong, sometimes that is necessary, right?
Yeah.
Like if service was so terrible or people were so rude or something like horrific happens, like of course you want to share your experience. And that's usually the first place that people go. They either take to social media or they take to Google and you know leave a review with that negative feedback. And so it's difficult. I'm sure there's some sort of statistic around like for every good Google review or for every like bad review you get, there's only like, you know, zero point 0.5 good reviews that you're gonna get or something, something that's like
Yeah.
it feels like the bad always outshines the good in those instances when you're trying to get reviews. And it's not like you're trying to get a bad review by any means, but people are like, oh yeah, dinner was great, and they just leave. They go on
Yeah.
about their way, or oh yeah, I went to this boutique and I got exactly what I needed, and the lady was super helpful, but I'm on my merry way, right? And there's so much opportunity to have or to collect those good reviews and capitalize on that good feeling that people have in that specific moment.
Yeah, I agree.
So
And I think
how
it should, oh, I'm sorry. I think it should be like a huge motivator to get more good reviews. So that way, when people do leave the bad reviews, buyers can see, like, oh, this isn't the norm. Like, the bad review is the outlier, and there's way more good than bad. So,
yes.
also say just as a business, make sure you respond to all reviews, whether they're good or bad. Good reviews, of course, just express your appreciation for the feedback. Bad reviews, I would suggest just acknowledging and maybe even explaining in the review how you're going to fix the mistake that was made. So if somebody's complaining about an employee, just say, I'm so sorry about that. Like, just acknowledge what's going to be done to fix the problem.
Yeah, that's I'm really glad you brought that up. Do you feel like Google watches and monitors that too as a part of like
Absolutely.
your placement in the search? Like, does this company even respond to them? Like, they might be getting a lot of them
Yes.
if they even respond. Like,
Just
are they
like
watching
any
that too?
algorithm, absolutely. Just like any algorithm, I feel like all social platforms or even Google as a search platform, they prefer people who are engaging with their platform. So, of course, they're going to
Right.
favor a business who's constantly active in their Google My Business profile. And then, same with
Yeah.
Facebook. They prefer accounts who are constantly posting on Facebook, spending money on Facebook. So yeah, definitely.
Do you feel too? I think one thing about your review for those who are not on our email list, and maybe I'll share your review on stories just so people have that visual
Yeah.
too. But do you think that part of the success of a review is like, do pictures help? Because your review in particular has like a really cool photo of y'all like going down the zip line. Like I think there might be 2 photos maybe
Yeah.
on the review. Do you
There's one
feel
of
like
the mine has more reviews.
uh,
I mean, more views.
that's amazing?
Sorry.
That's absolutely amazing. So does that help too?
Yeah, absolutely. Because people want to see like a visual. So quickly they could see that they could go ziplining, see the same pretty view that was in my photo, or experience the same fun that was just showcased in a quick photo. So
Yeah.
I definitely
Yeah.
think photos are even more powerful for something like that, especially.
Yeah, definitely. So I think maybe a part of like your ask for those of you who are watching, part of your ask might be, did you take any cool photos today? Like take out your phone, pull up your favorite photo that you took today. You know, maybe this is like part of like your story and how you like get them to actually leave their review.
Yeah.
You know, did you take a picture today? Take out your phone. Like what an awesome memory. We would love it if you would share that as part of like your Google review. Like somehow incorporating that because if Google favors that too, and maybe that's how you're going to get review famous, like Mallory. I mean, like, that again, like Mallory just said, that helps them see what it's really going to be like. Because sometimes when you go to a website, you're like, is this stock imagery? Does it actually look like this?
Yeah,
Is
it's
this
a
a
little
real
sketchy.
video, a real photo? Yeah, it's kind of like, is this legit?
Yeah.
I think the review and someone's experience really can help you navigate if it's somewhere you want to go or something that you want to experience too. I've even so much as looked at Google reviews because I'm like, okay, this restaurant seems fancier, but like, what are people like? Did anyone post a picture of like going to an event here or anything? Like, what are they wearing? Like,
Yes.
because I'm like, I don't want to show up like underdressed. Like, people are going here
No,
for
I
the
do the same thing.
yeah. And I even just think about like I sometimes rent dresses or clothes through like Newly or Rent the Runway, and reviews on there are so crucial because I'm like, who has a similar body type as me? Or you know, we were taking pictures outside in a garden, and I'm like, are any of these review photos of someone like in a garden? Like, what is it? Is the pattern distracting? Is it gonna like look good? I mean, for men watching this, you're probably like, this chick is crazy. But for women, you're like, yes,
No.
I get that.
Yes, I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and the guy was telling this story. He was an email marketer, but I don't really know why he told the story because it didn't have anything to do with email marketing. But it's definitely relevant to our conversation today. But he was saying that it was like a Saturday night, and him and his family, they were all in like separate rooms. He has teenage kids, and so they're all in the group message texting back and forth about what pizza they're going to order that night from DoorDash. And so the son sends one option in the group message, and the daughter responds back and is like, ew, 3.9 stars when my option has 5. Like, no way we're ordering from your recommendation. So it definitely can impact buying decisions for sure.
Yes. And it's so crazy because you don't know. Like sometimes we don't even go and look at the reviews. Like we don't even read what they say. We solely just look at the stars. And we're trusting complete strangers that we don't know who have completely different preferences than we have. And we're trusting them and their opinions. And we might never go and dine at this restaurant or we might never eat that pizza some stranger who doesn't even live in the same neighborhood or know or hang out in the same, you know, social circles or whatever as I do because they said that they didn't like it. And that's so crazy. And I think that's such a testament to, you brought this up earlier, it's such a testament to social proof. You said this earlier, we trust and we value the opinions of complete strangers more than we trust and value the opinion of the company or the brand itself. And so those reviews can sway people. The fact that your review has over 60,000 views on it is a testament to the fact that people are going and looking and searching and reading reviews and looking at the pictures that are posted there. And so they matter for they don't matter to you as the person. I mean, it's cool you left a review that has 60,000 views, but
Yeah,
it matters more so for the company, right? Like that's
absolutely.
so valuable for them to have a
Yeah.
five-star review that has photos that's speaking highly of their guides and the experience there, even if it is a quick review. That's incredibly valuable for a company.
Yeah, and I will also say I attended Google had like this webinar yesterday talking about like all of their new AI tools and all of the things. It was called Google Marketing Live. But Google definitely, like based on that webinar yesterday, realizes like how consumers are acting today. And so, like you just said, reviews are like a huge factor in buying decisions. And so Google's definitely starting to care even more about all of the social proof. So it's
Yeah.
definitely even more relevant today than ever,
Yeah. I feel like we've
especially as
already
people
answered.
do more research before making buying decisions. And people are
Yes.
looking
Yeah.
for more specific things as well.
Yeah, definitely. My last question for you today was going to be like, how can we use Google reviews to our advantage? But I feel like in a way we've kind of already like covered a lot of that, you know?
Yeah, and I would also say you can also like recycle your Google reviews or your Facebook reviews in other forms of marketing. So like if you get a really good Facebook review, like make a cute graphic out of it in Canva and post it to your page. Maybe even run that as an ad. Um, just like get that social proof out there in any avenue that you can, whether it's email marketing or I know even like we've done direct mail before where we want to put a good testimonial from a client that's in a similar field on the back. So just like
Yeah.
recycling those reviews and really using them to your advantage.
Yeah. You brought up something very subtly in that too. You said, like another for us finding a review from another client that's similar and using that as a part of our marketing to other people in that field or other clients who might be similar to that person. That's a really good like piece of advice too, because I'm even thinking in this example of the zip lining place in Broken Bow, if they were running a campaign specifically to parents or families, they might not want to use your review in particular. They might want to go and find another review from a family, you know, a big family that maybe was on
Yeah.
a family reunion trip and shows that there's kids in the photos, like having a good time. And then they might want to take that review, post it, but then specifically run that as an ad to families on
Parents.
Facebook
Yep.
or on Instagram or yeah, or to parents. Yeah, exactly. Um, Now there might be other, you know, places like I think about the place we went to Maldives for our honeymoon and we left a review of our experience on TripAdvisor. And you know, I just think, you know, in there we put it was our honeymoon and they made us feel so special. And they did, you know, all the fun, like the swan towels and the petals or
Yes.
whatever on the bed. And, you know, we had like a special dinner and all of this stuff. And it was really cool. And so it's like they could take that review for us and run that as an ad to other people who are getting married, like people who are recently engaged on Facebook. That is a targeting feature. And so that's such a good point that you brought up is utilizing those reviews in the first place and cross posting in other places, but then being
Yeah.
really intentional about what reviews you're using and targeting other people who, you know, quote unquote, look like those folks that are even leaving the review. So that's really good. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just use the content that's already out there and you can
No.
use it in so
And
many different ways.
yes. And I think you know, for us at Ugly Mug, we go back and we use our reviews. We post a review almost every other Thursday. We have a review that we just take from Google and repost, and that can be a really easy piece of content for your social media strategy. But again, that added benefit of having that social proof as well.
Yeah.
So many good pieces of information, y'all. We've covered exactly like specific things that you can do in order to get reviews. It matters the timeliness, it matters how easy it is for the person to leave a review. It also matters how we ask and asking them something very specific. And it also matters to, oh gosh, what was the last part of it? Being specific, asking in a good, timely manner. Oh, it's
Creating
escaping me.
buy-in, incentive.
Oh, that's creating buy-in
Yeah.
and incentive for them to want to leave the review. In Mallori's story, it was, hey, you're helping us out as the tour guides. They've spent, all morning or maybe all afternoon with these people and they've built that relationship. So that was the buy-in. But maybe buy-in for your people looks like a discount or a piece of candy or a sucker on your way out of the
Yeah.
doctor's office. It could be a variety of different things. We've also touched on why it is so important to have reviews, and we touched on the algorithm side of Google and having people spending more time on the platform. They like that. And to be able to show up higher in search, but also that added benefit of social proof so that you can go out and attract more customers by having that high rating on Google when someone does a quick search for the pizza place in the area that they're going to order from that night. And then we've also very here at the end touched on obviously why it's important, but how we can use these Google reviews to our advantage and cross posting them and utilizing them beyond just letting them sit on your Google business page profile. This has been jam packed with so many nuggets. I'm going to have a hard time finding a clip from this to be able to post on Reels on Friday. We might just have to repost the whole conversation on there. But whether you have been joining us live and watching this consistently, thank you so much. If you're catching the replay, thank you for tuning in here too. We will be back again next week, Wednesday, for another edition of Coffee Chat. Same time, same place, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. Mallori, thank you so much for sharing this story with us and all of your wisdom. That's all I've got for us today, folks.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.